The opposite.
That they want to share and understanding that. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. You going red?
Oh my god.
Hi, my name's Bjarte and I work with GAIMIN in the CEO office as the bookkeeper and payroll manager. Today we're putting GAIMIN leaders into the hot seat to talk about GAIMIN Cloud or hot spicy chicken wings, what GAIMIN Cloud is and isn't, why it matters and how it's set to revolutionize the computing industry. Okay, here we had Nafe, Martin and Mark. Guys.
Fine.
Yeah.
Good day. Pretty good. I'm excited for this. I ain't too spicy too well, so. But I'm very competitive, so I know Martin is the same.
That's good. Okay, let's start with that general warm-up. GAIMIN has been working on cloud computing for a while now. How do you feel about finally launching some cloud service like file sharing and AI?
We're going straight to the first weeks or anything? It's just a question first. Just general follow on GAIMIN Cloud.
Yeah, and finally launching some cloud service like file sharing.
Yeah, in the first phase of GAIMIN Cloud, we of course have our file sharing solution and AI solution as well. We are releasing the first final version of GAIMIN Cloud at the end of Q1 for people at home who are not familiar with what Q1 is. It's the end of March 2025, and we're very excited about our abilities to expand the offering to the masses by then.
Yeah, excited's the right word.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of testing and a lot of work to get to where we are now. To actually have something that's ready for mass adoption now is exciting.
Okay. I see you hanging the ring.
Do people at home? Martin is selling? Yeah, Martin is eating an entire day. I see, right? Okay.
I think it's also useful because one of the underlying principles, underlying philosophies of GAIMIN was to extend the range of services we provide using the deep network and the GAIMIN Cloud that we're setting up. And this is the first real use case for it. And I think that as we go through this, it'd be very important to understand that the primary user at the moment is us. And we have used our technology to deliver the GAIMIN app to our users, which is the ideal proof that the technology works, basically, and that's how we've tested it going forward.
So, okay, shall we do the first one?
Yeah.
Cheers.
So the reason we're doing spicy, hot and spicy is because questions are going to get spicier as you leave, and so we've got the different hot and spicy things just to test us our eating and to test the.
And I'm just going to get started.
Martin, this is probably for you.
Okay.
What was the original vision behind GAIMIN Cloud?
This is maintainable. This feature is. I can do this one, yeah.
Well, the original vision was we were kind of being the founders, gaming oriented, gamers from a younger age, early gaming. We could see the obvious need for computational resources. In fact, we read an article in VDC by Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, and he talked about the world was running out of computing resources. There wasn't enough compute power to power our new digital future. And in the gaming world at the time, there's 1.3 billion Windows PC gamers with high-powered gaming rigs that had high-powered GPUs and CPUs and hard space connected to the internet with high-speed internet connections. All of those metrics are growing. There's now 1.8 billion. Well, 1.6, 1.8, depending on who's kind of more accurate, but the figures are, insanely high. The GPUs are faster, the CPUs are faster, the hard drives are bigger, the internet connections are bigger. So there's this colossal resource there, and a demand that increases pretty much daily. So the original vision was very simple. Let's take this supply and connect it to the demand and build an app that sits in the middle but connects it. in just the same way that Uber and Airbnb have proven that this type of model works. And within, kind of more recently, companies like Render and Filecoin have actually proven that you can take distributed resources and successfully apply it into a market. So we're combining proven supply, proven demand, and proven business models to be able to do it. So that was the vision.
Love that. Love that.
And I'd like to ask you about the gaming experience. I've heard from your sons that you were the best space misfit. No,
The Space Invaders.
space misfits was on our platform. Yeah.
Yes. Back in the day, I played Space Invaders and Galaxian, which were the two big ones in the day.
Do you know what Space Invaders is?
No idea.
The little aliens that grow side to side there.
Put it on a spaceship underneath and you fire it up at them.
You put it on floppy disk, and then you watch Charlie Chaplin.
Space rooms, throw souls.
Why game and decide as the distributed computing space?
So, to me? Yeah. Okay. Why did GAIMIN decide to enter the distributed computing space? We've seen that throughout the years, the cloud computing and the computing industry is always evolving. Started with on-prem solutions, then they went into cloud solutions, which AWS, Microsoft, and Google did very well. And now we are looking at the future of cloud computing and the distributed cloud computing, where you take resources where for example, the gamers have some resource at home, like a mini data center, and you connect that with all the other data centers in the world, and you have a distributed cloud. And we see this as not only a very eco-friendly solution, but it completes the next phase of cloud solutions. So, for example, how we can go and help companies that have on-prem solutions. On-prem solutions are solutions that companies have within their offices, for example, is they might have to do an end of month accounting, which takes a spike on the on-prem solution. And instead of having to increase their on-prem solution, which is very costly, hard-in maintenance, electricity cost, they have their smaller on-prem solution they can do throughout the month, and then they put the spikes over to us for data processing. And we see this as a complete solution for the on-prem, the cloud, and now the distributed cloud is the completes the buyer there.
I think one of the key reasons why GAIMIN decided to enter this market is because we can create this network out of gamer devices, the gamer level PC. The early research shows that the gamers have the high quality, high performance devices that are needed for the processing power within the DPIN.
Yeah.
And as a platform by gamers, for gamers, so to speak, the ability to harness this processing power that's available in these devices means that we can convert that back into the rewards that we pay back into the users or the gamers, such that they can enhance their gaming experience through our platform. So that's one of the reasons why we entered into the DPIN market in the early days, was to generate these rewards. So
it's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win-win. Yeah.
The end user at a company level, who becomes a client of our cloud, they get access to instantly scalable, economic, reliable, no single point of failure, distributed computational resources, way cheaper than otherwise, because we don't have to build the resources are existing. The gamer, through contribution of some of his computational resources, is rewarded for that. So those two win, and of course, as a company, everybody who's a stakeholder, a relationship with us is a picture as well. So it's a complete win-win-win.
I think you noted the other day when you were talking about that this solution is kind of back to the future solution.
Yes.
So in the past, we had on-prem solution. Everyone moved over to the cloud, and now we have an on-prem cloud solution.
We're taking the cloud back to the user.
Should we spice things up?
Yeah. I think so. I think you answered the questions. Amazing.
So this one is this Previous one?
This is from the restaurant that we just had. Now we have a typical Tabasco, which is moderate, quite spicy.
So the theory is that as the chicken wings get spicier, the questions get spicier and hotter.
That was rather generous. That one's yours. Good with that, buddy.
Say times.
Right, good with guys.
Here we go. And we'll definitely not come with.
Okay.
What's
Different spicy, yeah.
a little more interested in that this?
Oof, I can do this.
Disrupting an industry like cloud computing isn't easy. What are the biggest hurdles GAIMIN Cloud has faced so far, especially with regarding to product development?
As far as because we've had conversations and we've done testing with companies for a while now, and anybody who's kind of using an established provider now, there's a reluctance to change. Okay, so that was one of the challenges. So the huge companies in this space are kind of companies have built their businesses around the existing solutions. So asking someone to take a risk and look at another solution is one of the challenges. That's why we've started with our main push file sharing, because it's an easy solution to offer. They can run alongside, they can take a test, they can watch the performance metrics involved, and they can see to themselves a direct I did without any reduction in performance. So that is one of the initials, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think now one of the challenges we face is kind of piggybacking on what Martin said. It's awareness that this solution exists, because businesses and enterprises are very familiar with off-prem. Back when cloud was being introduced a couple of years ago, they weren't familiar with that. And there was a friction and an awareness problem to move forward to that. And now introducing kind of the next level of the cloud faces kind of, are you crazy? You can't do this. Oh my God. What about this? What about that? It's just awareness that this solution exists and is very viable for a lot of use cases.
Which is very typical any tech innovation.
Yeah.
There's a period of
acceptance and etc. Whereas clients need to understand what this service is. They need to be able to validate that we can do what we say we do. That's all that they want. And I think one of the things that we've done over the last couple of months is proven the service, the capability, the technology works by distributing our own platform, correct, our own application through it. And that gives the assurance to our clients that it does the job and it works, and we can point them into the case study of us and in terms of the technology working, cost savings, the cost benefit, and give them the assurance that this new novel approach does the job for them.
Yeah, and we produced an 80% saving in our download costs and had a slight increase in performance as well. Yeah. So, and we can offer people in a risk-free trial. They don't need to move all of the tech over. They can,
Can integrate with their existing solution.
Yes, well, can run alongside and test it and try it themselves. One of the kind of big things is that we've been speaking to people, companies across the whole spectrum, new companies who kind of rely on grants initially from cloud companies. But unfortunately, the grants end. The reason people can get grants is they're aware the companies who are offering these cloud grants know the value of a customer over the lifetime of them being with it. So they offer significant grants. But what tends to happen in the beginning, especially if it's a founder or a startup, is you're grant hopping to take advantage of that. Then you're having to spend time more concerned about that than actually building your business. So we are a huge advantage for those type of companies, especially. Yep.
One more for the medium spice.
The spice boy.
Okay, how does GAIMIN plan to scale the network to ensure consistent computing power?
I can take this because I just had this conversation with our CPO, getting the exact data of our network. Currently, we have a vast network distributed throughout the entire globe. We have just above 11,000 high-performance GPUs online, who also contribute file sharing in our network. So the scale of the network is completely there for us to take it to the next level. That's why we're so excited to have a release date of end of March for the GAIMIN Cloud to be able to service enterprises and smaller companies with that network. One of my goals, or not goals, or a luxury problem that I hope we have is that we don't have a big enough network. Right now, we are very well positioned to take us to the next level. And then it's about maintaining the supply-demand issue so everyone can band it together.
Yeah, just to clarify that, we categorize the computers that make up our network, and the 11,000 referring to the highest record. Yeah.
A major concern in the cloud computer sector is latency and reliability. How is GAIMIN Cloud addressing that?
Mark, do you want to?
Yep. I think we sort of answered that in one of the previous questions. We've got 11,000 devices, nodes, operating the service. High grade nodes operating are delivering the service for us. As we increase the number of nodes that are available, we can send the files that need to be shared to greater number of devices, and that improves the reliability of the service. It enables us to deliver a more performance optimized service, and the reliability is there. The ad hoc nature of our devices means that people can switch the devices on and off. The more devices that we have, the more nodes that we have, the greater the mitigation of that risk happening where we don't have any devices. And so that improves the reliability. We also need to, one of the things that's a key fundamental feature is the integrity of the file as well. When the person or the client discards the other thing that we
There's a blooper right there.
This is a video of you. So they're making yourself worry about it. First of all, reliability, no single point of failure because of the distributed nature of our network. So that reduces any probability of failure because there's an increased number of nodes. So that's one key thing. The other thing with the latency is we're able to ensure that somebody downloads from a node closest to him. So the more we grow, the latency actually, reduces. So it improves just by how we grow. That's how we've actually achieved a slightly superior download time with our own software.
We are working with a fifth-year PhD student at Yale University, specializing in job distribution and mathematics, to help us take that to the absolute next level. To have the job distribution and the file distribution optimized based on where the downloads are happening, because you can kind of predict that based on what time of day it is in this area, so you can shuffle the files around to do that.
And the integrity of the file is always maintained. We retain master copies of the files and are continually checking to ensure that the file that is within the distribution network is the actual file that meant to be distributed. So the integrity is built into the fundamental architecture of the file sharing solution in GAIMIN Cloud.
How big of a deal is GAIMIN Cloud's cost advantage compared to centralized alternatives?
As the man who's actually handling the finances and paying our cloud bills,
well, the biggest proof of concept that we've done is putting our own pilots on the network. Marin mentioned that by using our network, we were able to cut costs for ourselves to up to 80%. So for a game developer who is looking for a sustainable solution to grow, he doesn't want to suddenly get a bill. If he has a operational cost of 50K a month, he doesn't want to get a surprise extra 50K in download costs just because his game started to get some traction. So we kind of come in there and then are able to provide them with a scalable solution, and the same with these enterprises that are paying massive amounts to the big web service providers. We can slash their costs quite significantly, so they can either increase their operations that are not just downloads that they don't see. They can have a more tangible effect on their operation.
Exactly, yeah. It means in real terms, more development, more staff, more marketing budget, more runway, a startup pre-revenue. It gives them a much greater chance of actually succeeding as a business.
How does GAIMIN ensure security and data privacy for users of GAIMIN Cloud?
Since starting to develop the file sharing solution specifically, we went through the whole process of getting the ISO certification, which kind of gives us the credibility that all our developments fit the standardization of how you should develop secure solutions. Now we're preparing for the next phase. So encryption, splitting the files to minimize failure of the network, getting SOC certification for security, and a couple of other
continual GD.
GDPR finds for files that contain data, and ensuring that we maintain the regulatory framework that we are required to do so.
And ongoing audits of, smart contracts.
Yes, that's the business as well.
I kind of just to touch up on that, but we of course do use blockchain technology quite a lot, and we are currently in kind of research implementation phase of how to use blockchain specifically to provide that trust with our clients, whether they're the user of the network or providing the network, so we can provide clear transparency that everything is being done properly.
Fabulous. And you hungry?
So spicy? Let's move on to the spicy questions. Live with you, spicy.
I'm not sure you should be the one that...
Or you can start with 3.
Yep.
Really nice clothes. I want to get this one.
There you go.
Thank you, boss.
Okay.
So we're moving. This is a spices. This is spices. This is a spicy little bottle.
Good question.
The most spice in Portugal.
This is the one that Ricardo said was scribbled with.
Okay.
Cheers.
You took a bite with no hot sauce.
You took the opposite.
No, I can say that is not the case.
Oh.
No, that's way too much more.
What
What are you doing, man?
Helping the addicted Jim.
Nothing. I can't even feel that.
More dops on this.
Okay then. Some people are skeptical about GPUs for gamers instead of data centers. Some think it's not big enough or needs to power the sector. How do you respond to that?
The global gaming community is growing continually. Their rigs are getting more powerful continually. And we offer another solution to this. So we are, however, the industry grows in alternative methods of providing this digital infrastructure. We're one of those methods, yeah. And it's the fastest growing. It's the largest source of underutilized computational resources on planet Earth right now.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Let me put it into the perspective of, for example, the gamer, because the question is about that. A gamer does not find gaming enjoyable unless he has a really powerful GPU that is able to carry all those graphics, unless there's no ping. So the bandwidth is optimal, because the better the ping, the better the gating experience, and especially you can move around the map and stuff like that.
Yeah, mean isn't it? Just
Okay, Mark, I'll send that over to you all right.
So yeah, it is about the optimal gaming experience. The other thing is that the gamers continually want to upgrade their devices. They want to enhance their gaming experience and make them a better gamer. And the idea is that we will capitalize on that and utilize their existing devices and their motivation and to upgrade. As the gamers upgrade their devices, we will take advantage of those upgrades and utilize these higher performing devices better within the deep end. As the gamer improves and enhances their devices, we will pay out more and better rewards to those people. Over time, we will be building in features and functionality such as the marketplace into the gaming platform that enables the gamers or enables us to offer gamers discounts to upgrade and benefit from participation in the deep-in and the services that we offer through marketplace, and the ability to enhance their gaming experience.
Let me take that one as well, because when I first got introduced to gaming, they were trying to build his distributor network, and I asked the question, why limit yourself to games? Why not build a browser where you can do the same and you can access all the computers in the world? Well, if you think about a typical user of a laptop, like your whole thing, you shut it down, you open it up, you shut it down. So it's very hard to predict when you're online. And that computer is not as powerful as those big computers. So the fact that we have more than 11,000 concurrent users on our network every day speaks to the fact that we've done this pretty well.
And that's out of way more downloads. That's not 11,000 downloads, but downloads is really high. Here's another way to look at it. We had one of our guys saw some numbers, and these are estimates, so this isn't to be taken literally, of how much a dollar value on the current digital infrastructures, the current infrastructure in the global gaming community right now. So that's the price of the GPU, the CPU, the hard drive, everything that makes it work, and the internet, the connection, everything. And they worked out to be $2.7 trillion. So it's $2.7 trillion of hardware sat there ready to support a digital, power digital world. Now, a data center costs a few $1 billion to build. So to put it in some scale, I know it's not comparing exactly like for like, but it does give some idea of the scale of what we can do with gamers.
Yeah.
Notice, Mark, that you haven't touched your milk.
I did just have a little sip after I spoke. I haven't been good to cover it topped up.
You saving all that chicken for later?
Is your top up on the spices? Do.
This time, I'm not replying.
I'm getting the sniffles.
No? Oh, maybe don't need to worry.
Greg Mark needs more. Yeah, it's not anything like that, Yeah, I'll be with me.
All right, chaps. Pick your poison.
That's showing off,
Who are the primary target clients for Game Clouds?
Currently, we are not competitor to AWS Cloud or Google Cloud. We have a couple of features that are really beneficial for our target clients. Our features that we think that benefits most of our target clients is the file sharing solution, because that cost can just skyrocket as you grow. So that means that that means that the better your business is going, the more it costs you. And we want to take that headache off our target customers' minds. So our target customers are SaaS companies that have big download files for clustering. Of course, we do have an AI as well. We benefit a couple of companies for our AI solution, but that's a big market. We are currently going after the SaaS companies. And of course, if they're in game development, it's even better. Mark, see.
How do you tend to attract large-scale enterprise adoption subsequently?
By checking all the questions of when we introduce the solution, there are a couple of questions that we know we get. Was it secure? Is it secure enough? Is it reliable? Is it encrypted? What happens if everyone turns off their computer? And we're checking all of those solutions to those answers. For example, what happens if everyone turns off their computer? We have 2 failback systems. So we have our own small little data center that can run a part of it. And then we also, one of the nodes on our network is the centralized networks. And we are partnering with mining rigs as well to be able to provide enterprises with the compatibility that they need to move file sharing over to our solution.
And it's a progression, isn't it? Yeah. Large entities don't easily move their infrastructure. And it's a progression.
And it's also going to be about working closely with the enterprise clients, looking at what specifically they want, what files, what are the files or the content of the files that they want to share, and understanding their particular requirements further, and building the extra services.
Targeted more?
Building the extra the infrastructure type services that get more.
Yeah.
My job in regulatory operations is to help oversee this and make sure that what a client wants and that we commit to delivering for them, we can actually achieve. So we won't signing up to delivering any services that we will fail to deliver, and we will only accept what the client wants and what we know we know to meet.
We're in conversations now, aren't we? We're in conversations with big now, just yeah.
Okay. How does GAIMIN Cloud integrate with GMRX?
Mark, do you want to do that one?
I think it'd be probably best to not leave each other.
What is it?
GMRX is the lifeline of the gaming ecosystem. That's how we keep our users, our gamers, engaged on the platform, so they can enjoy their experience and provide their computational research to the network. So the GMRX there has an inherent value for the GAIMIN Cloud because that's how we keep the gamers on the network. Then we use GMRX and other blockchain technology to flow around the ecosystem. For example, GMRX is also on Colosseum, and through the GAIMIN Cloud, you can download the headless application, which means that if you aren't a gamer and you want to provide either your on-prem solution to our network, you can get rewarded for just putting a headless application that has no relation to being a gamer. And there's
I'll help you out. I think one of the other useful things that if you're about to implement is a change in the rewards mechanism. And not be's designed a new rewards mechanism doesn't just pay a node or a device owner for participating. It encourages. So when I say participate, I mean providing cloud infrastructure services. What it's going to do is incentivize people to switch on other services. So you can select whether you want to participate in AI, you can select whether you want to participate in file sharing, because there's issues that some people may have with limited bandwidth, and they may not want to share all the files. So you can switch that on as and when you need to. the new reward system is going to incentivize people to actively participate with the application, play the games, switch on services, and build up the GMRX that you earn through your active participation.
A QR is just a reward system, but the mechanism of transferring the value that we receive to the users in rewards.
Barry, maybe I think you came up with the GMRX. What does GMRX stand for?
It has the GMR is for gamer, and X is for exchange. So a gamer exchanges some of his computational resources to acquire purchasing power to be able to fund his game. That's exactly what we're covering.
Yeah, big brain power. Yeah.
Colin told me that when they were younger, he used to call Martin smarter. He's so smart, relatively.
Okay, the last question. Do you wanna buy it?
Yep. Or it not. When I meant down the trash.
Maybe one of those ought to be for you. There's 4 is here.
Is that? Gonna do a little cheers?
I'm going to this.
Hey,
That's fighting up?
Yeah? And I bet no.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
it doesn't hit you right away. It takes a few seconds.
You're going red.
You want a bit?
Yeah. I can't spread it. Oh my god, what's that?
In my other role, I'm also responsible for HR.
Oh god.
No worries, it gets worse.
Yeah.
How did you not react though?
The experience. No, it's not wanting to look weaker than the
Okay. Okay.
You alright?
You want me to take the last question?
Yeah.
How does the GMRX tokenomics relate to GAIMIN Cloud and its revenue?
The revenue, we take part of the revenue and we purchase GMRX, and that's how we reward the contributors, the gamers. We also take a part of that. That's called our buybacks. We buy back some GMRX from the marketplace. So you distribute those to our users as rewards. And we also take a percentage of that and we burn some based on revenue as well. So those are deflationary mechanisms and a buyback mechanism that we've got built into our tokenomics. And that's the direct way. Anything to add to that?
Well, I guess the simple way to say it is with more clients and more revenue through the GAIMIN Cloud, the more it benefits GMRX and the gamers. I guess great job, guys. And thanks for Bjarte for our host. Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah, thank you guys.
well, by Mark, we can't show any weakness at all.
No,
I'll say the same.
Thank you all for tuning in to Spicy Questions with the leaders of GAIMIN. I am doing the outro of this video because Bjarte is still a little hurt after the spicy challenge. So hopefully we can provide you with more content like this and keep you engaged and explain what we're doing at GAIMIN. Thank you all.